So, what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? Well, we are in an area in Burgundy which is quite near and dear to my heart. It's called Chablis, and Chablis is fascinating for not only its history, but you also the soil composition that is completely different there than any other part of Burgundy as well. And it's a clay that's quite unique, very old, 180 million years, Jurassic period. But what it gives on these wines is a very, very interesting profile. Chablis is quite famous, as we know, because in the past, a lot of Americans might have even bought Chablis from Carlo and Rossi, which is kind of interesting because back in those days, nobody was even promoting Chardonnay too much. But these grapes are 100%, these wines, 100% Chardonnay grapes, and there is no red wine produced in Chablis, but they do have different grades of what they call quality level. And what we're going to talk about the differences between a Petit Chablis and a Chablis. And we had a chance to go visit this property, which is Sylvain Mosnier. It's now run by daughter Stephanie and her husband Christophe. And Christophe was actually showing us the vineyards. They were right across the street from the property, and he pointed out to one hill, and he said that hill over there is Petit Chablis vineyards. And if you look over to the left on the other side of the property, that property was Chablis. So there are the distinct differences between those are the vineyards. So when you obviously get to a Chablis level, the quality here is going to be completely unique to Petit Chablis. But if you've never had Chablis and you're interested in trying, I say you start out with the Petit Chablis, because then you can see what the differences between the Chablis are. And then you get into what's called Premier Cru, which are obviously better vineyards, and then you get into what's called Grand Cru. And Grand Cru, very small areas. But Chablis, again, 100% Chardonnay. These wines are very interesting wines too, because they go with oysters. So if you've ever want to try a wine with some, we live in Long Island here, so we get some great oysters. These wines go perfectly with shellfish, including oysters, because if you dig into the ground in this area and you go down about 25 to 30 feet, you will find fossilized seashells, because at that one time it was all covered in water and it was a seabed there. So you do have seashells there, but the vines, when they're going down and they're trying to get water and they're trying to bring the water back up into the plant, they are also bringing up those fossilized seashells, and that gives this wine minerality. And what these wines are very interesting about is they actually age. So when we were there, we actually tasted a 1991, and the wine was still fresh. It was still had loads of life in it. And these are 2020, so you can imagine trying a 1991, and the color was basically the same. As you can see, it's a beautiful golden color. But on the nose of these wines, you do get that mineral tone, which is very, very famous in Chablis. And when you taste these wines, they have very, very long finishes, beautiful balance because of the acidity structure, and just a lovely bracing finish. So when you taste the Chablis, you're going to notice the differences, because usually these wines are a little fruitier in style. They don't have as much of the terroir that they would have in Chablis. That's why it is a different grade when you're moving up into Chablis, and you're getting much more complexity, much more expression of that minerality, which is really, really unique. If you're interested in this wine, it's called Mosnier Chablis. We have a couple places in the metro New York area you can find. Out in the Hamptons, we have West Hampton Wine and Spirits, who carries the Chablis. They do Petit Chablis. They do very, very well with this wine. And it retails for about $25 a bottle, not too expensive. And then if you're interested in the Chablis, we have different places that carry this. Seaholm in Huntington has the Mosnier 2020 village, we call the Village Chablis. And Mr. Wright in New York City, and Ambassador Wine and Spirits also carries our Chablis here, but and they will ship to anybody that would like these wines to purchase for sale. So this is the Grape Explorer, David Kohl. We're trying to do feature not only about wines, but we talk about history, we talk about travel, we talk about food, because all of these things all encompass one another. And if you really enjoy these videos, hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. And good afternoon, and taste these wines, because Chablis is beautiful wines.